comic enthusiasts. Welcome back to HC Comics, your gateway to the colorful and captivating world of comics. Today, we're embarking on the next exciting chapter of this comic series together. Wishing you all some relaxing moments as we dive into HC Comics adventure. Returning to the main developments of the story. In this episode, we start with the scene.
Ting Tang, Navier Empress of the Eastern Empire.
I accept this divorce.
Silence.
Your Majesty, this is preposterous.
Please, calm yourself.
How could this be?
Tremble, anxious, smirk. Oops. Rashta Sovieshu's mistress.
What should we do?
Sovieshu Emperor of the Eastern Empire.
Do you truly agree to accept this divorce without any objections?
Yes, I accept.
Phew, I do feel remorseful, but I'm relieved.
And
The House of Trovi, the family where I belong, was a family which had produced multiple empresses.
I request an approval of my remarriage.
What?
Murmur.
Did you hear that? A remarriage?
Done. Done. Done.
A remarriage? You seek a remarriage? With whom?
PFFT.
TR. Grin.
Is it time for my grand entrance?
Why is he?
Isn't he? Hein Ray?
Why are you? Why are you?
Step. Stir. The predecessor, Emperor Osis III, had also chosen me to be the future Empress of the Crown Prince.
Navier, you couldn't mean.
He is the one I wish to remarry.
A few months ago.
Gosh, I can't believe His Majesty. I agree, we should only have to wait upon Her Majesty. It's so obvious that she's a runaway slave. Oh. Hello, Your Majesty. I'll go prepare the bath water.
They're strangely quiet today. Did something happen while I was away?
Yes, and it's a very big deal.
Well, His Majesty brought some filthy girl back with him from his hunting trip. I suppose he took a liking to her because he had US wash that linkempt little thing.
And here I've never even used my own hands to wash myself. It was absolutely shocking, a complete shock. We only wet our hands when it's for you, Your Majesty. Oh, but even in her squalor, she was a considerable beality. Her beauty was second only to the Duchess of Tuania. WHO is known to be the most beautiful of all the duchesses. But of course, her beauty couldn't possibly compare to yours, Your Majesty. However, it did seem as if His Majesty had taken a considerable liking to the girl.
A marriage was a marriage of convenience.
His Majesty did?
He was absolutely frantic as he asked her things like, "How did you get hurt? Why are you so thin? You look so pale."
I don't see anything wrong with that.
You're being too naive, Your Majesty. It was so obvious that there was something between them.
Is that so?
It's true, there was a distinct change in his air and manner. And we only tell you this because we're always looking out for you, Your Majesty. But it would be a relief if we were concerned over nothing.
I see, even if their words are true. Shall we gather some information about her? What could I possibly do? No, but I appreciate it just the same. I'm sure he only brought her. Because he is a compassionate person. But thankfully, Sophie Shu and I had quite a good relationship since we were young. The nobles considered us an adorable pair of lovebirds. And we spent many a day with our heads together, discussing the empire we would build together in our future. I was the perfect empress. That is, until today. I was told that you found a slave during your hunting trip and brought her back.
Pause.
It means I should in no way, shape, or form question him any further.
Dazed.
As expected, something's amiss, Your Majesty. Did His Majesty say something?
No, he just didn't have much to say about the matter.
If he hadn't said anything, I'm sure you wouldn't look as gloomy as you do, Your Majesty. It's okay, please tell us, Your Majesty, so we can be prepared as well.
His Majesty said the girl was accidentally caught in one of his traps. He said she's not a runaway slave, and that he only brought her back to make sure she's nursed back to full health as it was only proper that he did. But he was also displeased that I continued to ask about it. Is it true?
What? Now, Your Majesty, that's exactly how my father behaved in the early stages of his affair.
Tremble. Tremble.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's exactly how men behave early on when they begin to cheat. And one of the telltale signs is when they become defensive and begin to raise their voices. If he's only doing what's proper, what could possibly displease him about discussing the matter? Come, now, I think you should go outside and cool your head, Laura.
Click.
Your Majesty, come, a fragrant cup of tea should soothe you. His Majesty must merely be fascinated that a beautiful woman was caught in his trap. I'm sure this is only fleeting.
Countess, my mother once told me that I mustn't be hurt even if His Majesty brings another woman to be his mistress. Because it was such a common occurrence, she advised me not to expect anything different from His Majesty. Even if His Majesty has mistresses, they are merely mistresses. I am the Empress. And it's not as if His Majesty and I are a pair of star-crossed lovers. But why is it that I feel so hollow inside? In theory, I should be fine.
My dear Empress, you were his betrothed since your childhood, and now you are husband and wife. It's only natural that you feel the way you do.
Then, will His Majesty feel this hollow inside if I have another man by my side? Never mind, there's no reason I'd ever have to see her in person, is there?
Of course not. Even if that slave does become his mistress, she cannot frequent places of business or social circles.
Yes, that's right. Every year, a certain number of slaves are reinstated to commoner status, but this privilege is never allowed for runaway slaves.
100 years.
A person becomes a slave when they or their preceding generation has committed a crime deserving of a life sentence. A slave who has run away is considered a fugitive since they fled without paying the price for their crime. So even if Sovi Shu takes her as his mistress, it would be impossible for her to make a debut into high society.
N.
Countess Eliza is right.
It's only natural that I feel shocked and somewhat empty inside about my husband having a mistress. But I shouldn't allow myself to become more impassioned than this. The girl shall live her life, His Majesty shall live his, and I shall live mine. And besides, it is only IWHO can be the Empress of the Eastern Empire. So, His Majesty visits her every day? Oh my.
I heard he personally brings her meals to her.
Someone as impassive as His Majesty? How unusual. It's all anyone's talking about lately. I should close my eyes and ears to all the whisperings. And there's no reason for me to sit there and listen to that gossip. Is that her? Shush. No, Lady Rashta.
Oh, hello.
Where did you hear that from?
Where I heard it from isn't important. So, is it true, Your Majesty?
Enough. We have a mere 2 meals together each week. There be many other topics we can discuss. Is that so important right now?
Anne, that tone is a warning.
Nod.
How insolent.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to call out to you, but I didn't know what to call you.
Her Majesty is the Empress of the Eastern Empire. Watch your behavior.
Pardon? I mean, I know she's the Empress. What? She knows I'm the Empress? I'm Rashta.
You know WHOIAM?
Sigh.
I'm indebted to His Majesty for letting me stay in the Eastern Palace.
She's a girl indebted to Sovi Shu, staying in the Eastern Palace, and has an injured leg. Well, His Majesty brought some filthy girl back with him from his hunting trip. His Majesty said the girl was accidentally caught in one of his traps. There must be many other topics we can discuss. Is that so important right now? Ah, yes, the slave? Your Majesty, please excuse her insolence, but Lady Rashta is not a slave. Oh, hey.
Swish. Pause.
She's not a slave, but my ladies-in-waiting were sure she was a runaway. Never mind, I see, she says she's not, so there's no need to quibble over it.
But I'm so glad to have met you. I've been meaning to go say hello but wasn't sure when I should.
Say hello?
Well, we'll be seeing more of each other, so it's only right that I introduce myself.
We'll be seeing more of each other? She wants to see me? Why?
50, what should I call you, Your Majesty?
Call me Her Majesty the Empress. What should you call me?
Pardon?
That should do it.
Oh, wait.
You insolent brat, how dare you act so familiar? You filthy wench.
WHO are you calling? Filthy wench.
Your Majesty. I am the Empress. But she dares to say, hey.
Rashta. Oh dear. Don't cry. Didn't I just tell you to stop crying? I really can't take my eyes off you for a moment.
What is this feeling? No, it's just as Countess Eliza said. It's only natural I feel this way. But at the very least, I have the freedom to look away from such an uncomfortable sight to behold. We shall take our leave as my feet are aching.
Wait. Stop, Empress.
What is it, Your Majesty?
That lady in waiting.
Laura? He couldn't possibly want to scold her because of what she said to Rashta.
Leave her here with me, Empress.
You mustn't, Lady Rash Ta. We should just leave. If you tell me what for, first. I am the Empress and Laura is my lady-in-waiting and the esteemed daughter of a high-ranking family. To punish Laura because of someone who isn't even his mistress yet. He would be publicly shaming her. And me as well. No, why your majesty, she is my lady-in-waiting.
Hi, I'm Rash Ta.
What does she want from me? Hello, Rash Ta. Did she want me to say her name? I'm sure I won't run into her again.
Swish.
Wait, oops, oh no.
Your majesty.
Yes, she is your lady-in-waiting. But, she is also a citizen of my empire.
3 days later, I personally went up to the tower Laura had been locked away in and brought her back. I then had her bathed in my room, and had just finished preparing her favorite desserts. When His Majesty wants to see me?
Pardon me for interrupting, but yes. His order was to take you to him immediately.
Fine, let's go.
Her Majesty is here to see you, Your Majesty.
Who called?
Ah, yes, Empress. Come, lock her up for 3 days. I heard you insisted on personally escorting the girl I'd locked up. Did you really have to?
Are you asking why I had to personally attend to her when you expressly had her punished?
So you know.
And you still tended to her, when you should have had her thrown out instead.
It's unjust to throw out a servant punished for being devoted to me. Moreover, her actions were well within the bounds of common sense. So, you insist on keeping her by your side?
She'll already be a laughingstock for being punished for having a sharp word with a mere runaway slave who's yet to even be a mistress. I appoint as my lady-in-waiting is my prerogative. But if I also have her exiled from the court, she'll be ostracized from society. Laura got punished because I'd been outdone by Rashta that time, but this is as far as it goes.
This quibble with you tires me. Why can't you just obediently do as I say for once?
What? Obediently do as you say? The Empress is not someone who is here to be at your beck and command, Your Majesty.
That's why I can't help but compare you two.
Compare me? With whom?
I'm tired. You may go. I'm thirsty.
Have you called?
Your Majesty?
Rashta, since when have you worked as an attendant? Haha.
Well, I thought it was only right that I do my fair share to help.
So you will be my attendant?
Yes, Your Majesty, that's quite excessive.
Excessive? What an amusing girl you are. You struggle to even walk. How could you do an attendant's job? It's quite all right for you to rest. Here, have some pumpkin pie instead.
Wow, pumpkin pie.
Are you this excited over a simple pie?
It's not just any pie.
I give the Empress expensive jewels and her reaction is so frigid. But it takes so little to move you to joy. How fascinating.
Is the Empress not pleased with your gifts?
She is, and I know she is grateful, but she's quite reserved and only shows the barest flickers of emotion.
It must be because she grew up without knowing a day of hardship. She doesn't know how harsh the world is. She probably takes her gifts of precious gems for granted. Oh, I don't mean to speak ill of her. I just mean it's like that for anyone who's been raised with plenty. It would be the same for you if you were given large gems as gifts. I'm sure you would feel indifferent.
I see. My prey is cleverer than she seems. This girl is injured and under my care. Yet your lady-in-waiting called her a filthy wench.
Oh, pooh, you're always calling me your prey. Oh, but Your Majesty. You said you would make me your mistress.
That's right. It seemed like the Empress didn't know. It's no matter. There's no rush, is there? We'll take it slow. Don't worry your pretty little head. I have a plan in mind. But you still think my punishment excessive?
No, Your Majesty, it's not excessive at all.
Laura.
It seems we're finished here then. You may take your leave.
Your Majesty, it was just as we'd expected. His Majesty will be appointing that girl as his mistress.
A gift?
The royal residence belongs to the Empress. So according to custom, the Empress sends the mistress a welcome gift to show that she recognizes the mistress and accepts her into the royal household. Sparkle, do you think Her Majesty will give me a gift too?
I will not.
Phew, what a relief. We were afraid you might send that girl a gift as custom dictates.
There are 3 main reasons an empress would send a mistress a gift. First, if they are friends. Second, if the mistress is a high-ranking noble. Or third, if the mistress is of the same bloodline as the empress. But Rashta doesn't fall into any of these categories. So why would I go out of my way to send her a gift? And am I to send it along with a message saying, please look after my husband? It's ridiculous. Don't worry. There's no reason for me to send her one.
If only Laura was here to hear you say that. Why, she would have absolutely jumped for joy. Oh, that's right. Is the rumor true, Your Majesty?
Rumor?
That the prince from the Western Kingdom will be in attendance for this year's New Year's ceremony. I heard he's absolutely gorgeous. That one look into his eyes is enough to captivate any woman. But I also heard he's as stubborn as a mule. He's caught up in a whirlwind of rumors of being involved with so many women. Yet the fact that he has fathered no children.
He will?
Pause while you've been busy all day preparing for the New Year's ceremony. His Majesty has been busy preparing to take her as his mistress.
You think the rumor about him being a seedless watermelon is true?
But in any case, is he really coming?
Haha.
Sparkle, sparkle, our Prince Charming.
I can't verify the truth of those rumors, but, yes, he is coming to this year's New Year's ceremony.
KNOCK. Knock.
Come in.
Your Majesty, Grand Duke Rylan Roth of Winchester sends his regards with a gift of the finest silks in all the Eastern Empire.
He's at it again. Tell him I'm grateful, but that just his regards are enough. Grand Duke Rylan Roth of Winchester is an extended family member of Sovi Shu. WHO has no interest in the throne, but has a strong thirst for power. He regularly sends bribes so he can try to request special favors in Return. He's a determined one, isn't he? Nana. Yes, he is.
Come, take a break, Your Majesty. It's tea time.
I have been steeling myself for when Sovi Shu would make that girl his mistress. But I didn't realize it would be this fast. Sigh, how fragrant.
Pardon the interruption, Your Majesty. But Lady Rashta wishes to see you.
Rashta? But I wish I did not have to see her. She may enter.
Your Majesty, it's so nice to see you again. It's me, Rashta.
Luckily, hiding my emotions in unpleasant situations has become second nature to me. Unlike the last time we met, His Majesty has taken you as his mistress. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, what brings you here?
What brings me here?
When will she be appointed?
According to the rumors, as soon as possible, before the New Year's ceremony. To see my sister, Her Majesty.
What, sister?
We're sisters now because we have the same husband.
What?
So, can I call you Big Sister from now on?
After the Prime Minister hands His Majesty the notarized document, His Majesty will sign it first, and then you should sign below him.
I understand, it's just that I don't have a signature.
Oh, don't worry, you can make one right now.
Well,
Oh, could it be that you don't know how to write? That's nothing to be ashamed of. You can start learning. Today, I'll teach you how to write the letters of your name. Oh, that's right. Her Majesty might send you a gift.
This must be the limit to my generosity. We have the same husband. And what?
What? Why?
She said, that I'm only His Majesty's mistress, not her sister. So I'm not allowed to call her, Big Sister. She hates me, I'm sure of it. Or is that how it normally is?
Lady Rashta, you couldn't have possibly. Did you go see Her Majesty?
Yes.
Haha, you couldn't have. Oh, no.
Why, I'm not supposed to?
Well, not exactly. It's just that the Empress and you are in antithetical end positions. How should I explain this?
Why, we both have the same husband now, don't we?
I'm sure you didn't. But, you didn't say that to Her Majesty, did you?
Of course, I did.
Oh dear me.
Clack.
Big sister. No. A feather?
Flap, flap, flap.
A bird? How beautiful. Will it allow me to touch it? Oh.
FLVAP.
Oh.
Perch. Rub, rub.
Oh. Is it some noble's pet bird? A note. I am a guest from abroad who will soon, and I arrive at the New Year's ceremony. This note while drunk.
Chuckle.
Your Majesty?
It's a bird, and it's massive.
Isn't it absolutely darling? Did it bring you a letter?
Shall I?
Oh, but you must write back at once.
Scribble, scribble.
Your bird has found its way to me. If it is able to find its way back, I shall be relieved, for it means it must be cleverer than its inarticulate drunk master. All right, here is my reply. Oh my.
It's so charming. I think the bird has taken a fancy to you, Your Majesty. Yes, isn't it amazing how it only clings to Her Majesty?
Flut, flute.
Be careful and don't lose your way.
Flack, flack.
Pardon? Do you dislike me? Is that why?
So it seems I must cleverly find my way back to you if I want to see you again, my queen. It has nothing to do with liking or disliking you. In the first place, that you have become his mistress doesn't mean we have become sisters.
Frosty glares.
Get out. I think the Empress hates me. Do you think the bird will come visit again?
I do hope it returns, and with another letter. Your Majesty, must you really be the one to find that woman's lady-in-waiting? Why, I heard even His Majesty's secretaries have given up.
Honestly, I don't want to.
Oh my aching head, why must the Empress personally find a lady-in-waiting for a mere mistress? My word.
But with how insistent he was. Ladies-in-waiting are chosen from nobles of the same rank or at most a rung or two lower. But Rashta is not from a noble family, so it is a breach of etiquette to ask a noblewoman to take on this role. This will be difficult. What could I do but agree? Please send invitations to all the noblewomen and their daughters for a tea party.
Ting tang.
Thank you for the invitation. It's been a while since we've met, and you are as beautiful as always, Your Majesty. Agreed. And to what do we owe the pleasure of your invitation to this magnificent tea party?
I should think it will be back, as long as it doesn't lose its way.
Ah, my heart is all aflutter from the excitement. I wonder whose bird it is.
You are all much too kind. I've invited you all here because I need your help.
Oh, our help? If it's for you, anything for you, Your Majesty. Of course, we'll help.
His Majesty is searching for a lady and waiting to attend to his soon-to-be mistress. Nobles take great pride in their status in society. So I mustn't mention her birth. Would any of you be willing to become her lady-in-waiting?
Silence.
Why, do they all look so uncomfortable?
I am. Do you mean Lady Rashta? To be honest, she's all anyone's been talking about lately. Her and her status as a runaway slave. I find it difficult enough to agree to become a commoner's lady-in-waiting, let alone a runaway slave. I'd die of embarrassment if I had to become a runaway slave's lady-in-waiting. I'm
so tired.
Shall I prepare a bath for you so you can relax? Or would you prefer going on a walk? Perhaps we can meet the bird we saw last Tim. Oh?
Click.
It's really come back. The bird. It's really here.
Bird? It must be here to see you, Your Majesty. It even has a letter tied to its leg. Oh, my.
I'd like to think I'm a bit more intelligent than Bird. I've woken up from my drunken stupor now.
Laura, get me a pen and paper, will you? It seems as if you haven't awoken completely. What is the bird's name?
It's fun for you too, isn't it, Your Majesty?
A bit. Here, make sure not to lose your way this time, too.
Fudder.
Come visit again, Your Majesty.
Ah, you've finally returned, Empress.
Will I get another letter? I hope I do.
Knock, knock.
Your Majesty, the Emperor is here.
Again?
Good day, Your Majesty.
Step, step.
You're visiting often lately, Your Majesty. What brings you here today?
How goes the search for Rashta's lady-in-waiting?
Again, with this Rashta girl. I invited and asked all the noblewomen and their daughters, but none would step forth.
Is that all?
Pardon?
There must be a reason why they declined. Did you perhaps spout some nonsense to them?
How could I when I know nothing about her?
People can still talk even if they know nothing.
Rise. Step.
You're right, just as there are people who suspect others without reason. What brings you here?
Why don't I rephrase that? Are you the one who spread the rumors about Rashta being a runaway slave? I believe Rashta will need her very own lady-in-waiting.
Oh.
But finding a willing noble has been difficult.
And I'd been having such a pleasant day.
It's obvious they're all being cautious because you haven't joined in on the search. So, I want you to lead the search in finding Rashta her lady-in-waiting.
My chest feels strangely heavy. Very well.
Good, I'm counting on you. No matter how much I think about it, there's no one who would benefit more from such a rumor than you. Rashta is your love rival, after all.
Funter.
Oh, you're so good at finding me.
Is such a thing needed? You may name it, if you'd like.
What an indifferent master.
Stari.
Ah, did you notice that I'd been crying? I'll let you in on a little secret. This is my secret place. I sometimes come here to cry all my feelings out. It's a secret, understand?
Pat.
Oh, my, are you trying to comfort me? How kind you are.
Kiss. Chirp.
A kind, intelligent bird like you deserves a name which befits your character.
Scribble. Scribble. Queen. Thump. So, your name shall be, Queen.
Squawk.
Love rival? Thank you for coming to see me, Queen. I'm in good spirits now, thanks to you.
Squeeze.
I hope you will come visit me again.
Ting tang. Flut. Lin.
Heavens above, how could she name a man, Queen?
What was that? You said you'd go survey the premises. Did you take another detour again?
No, of course not. I went to reconnoiter the Imperial Palace.
Did you really? You don't believe me? It's not that I don't, but please do be careful, please. Please, remember your position, Your Imperial Highness.
All right, all right.
HereLee, first in line to the throne of the Western Kingdom. ...
Your mistress is not my love rival. You are not my love, so how could she be my love rival?
My goodness, it's quite all right. The Empress never comes at this time of day. And it's not like she owns the entire West Palace. There's no reason you can't come here too, Lady Rashta. Your Majesty. Oh no, big sister. I mean, Your Majesty.
That chair is mine.
Oh, I.
And that handkerchief you were lying on is also mine.
I'm sorry, Your Majesty. I didn't know. I just happened to come across this chair, so I...
It's fine since you didn't know. But you should refrain from coming to the West Palace.
But I want to become friends with you.
You can become friends with the next mistress. ...
The next mistress?
Yes, the one His Majesty will take in after you.
Thump.
What goes on between you and your mistress is none of my concern. It tires me to even think about it. So don't drag me into this anymore.
Your Majesty, the Emperor.
Enough.
Step. Stir.
Your Majesty, what brings you here at this hour?
Why have you changed so much? ...
What do you mean I've changed?
I'm talking about what happened with Rashta.
Again with Rashta. I'm sick and tired of hearing that name. I've already told you I didn't want to hear about her anymore, and yet you continue to bring her up.
I heard what happened this afternoon.
Your Majesty.
You don't want to hear about her? If you had just let her be, I wouldn't be here in the first place.
Your Majesty, did your father also frequently bring up Countess Sophia to your mother? Sophia Shu's father's mistress.
Rashta is also one of your people. Don't you pity her?
No.
I didn't realize you were capable of saying such horrid things.
Slam. Step. Step. Slam.
Your Majesty. Truly? His Majesty visited the Empress and angrily yelled at her? For me?
He did. Apparently, he shouted loudly enough for his voice to carry through the halls. And that's not all. He's sent a chair especially for you.
Thump. Thump. Squeeze.
Oh, my, His Majesty is so gallant.
Hee.
An empress isn't supposed to cry about something like this. Slump.
Sigh. A bird.
Rap rap. Squonk.
Make way for Prince HereLee from the Western Kingdom.
Hi.
Clack. Cluck.
Prince HereLee. He is first in line to the throne of the Western Kingdom. And at the center of many rumors, such as those which describe his great cruelty or great beauty.
Clack. Clack.
I see that at least the rumor about his beauty was true. The face as handsome as his. Rumors would swirl even if he stood in a corner with his mouth shut. Ahem. Pleased. Queen, you've returned more quickly this time. Queen?
Reach.
It is an honor to meet you, my queen.
It is an honor to meet you as well, Prince HereLee. I hope you will get plenty of rest before the New Year's ceremony. Please enjoy your time at the palace. I'm sure it will be to your liking.
It is already very much to my liking. And very beautiful as well.
Flack.
Back so soon?
Tap tap.
All right. You want me to quickly read it?
I've arrived at the Aerial Palace. Can you who I am?
Your master has arrived?
Op. 8ROLL. Scribble.
I'm not sure who you are. Do you know who I am?
Flack.
Queen.
Chirp. Drip.
Shall we make a bet? The one who figures out who the other is first, wins.
A bet? The nerve of your master, making you go out in this rain. What a wicked master you have.
Chirp. Shake shake. Strongly disagree. Chirp.
Why are you shaking your head? It's clear that you do.
Scribble.
And what will be the prize?
Sparkle.
You want me to tie it on you? No, if I didn't know any better, I'd think that this was your room. Did your master send you on an errand this late in the evening? It's raining outside. I'm different from your masteri. You shall sleep with me tonight. I'll let you leave once the rain lets up.
Chirp.
Frozen. Tietol. Tiptoe.
Queen.
Empty. Blink. Rap. Rap. Chirp.
Queen, have you already made the trip?
Rustle.
I wonder what your master wrote.
Queen shall be the prize. As you wish, the bird's name shall be Queen. But you should bear in mind that it's male.
Oh, my, were you a male bird? Are you upset that I didn't know? Before long, the New Year's ceremony was upon us. It was a relief that neither Sophie Shu or I had very many distinguished guests arriving. We could avoid seeing each other for a while if we didn't need to greet them. Unfortunately, I couldn't keep my distance forever.
So, that wraps up this chapter, folks. I'm concluding the video right here. Stay tuned for the thrilling developments in the next episode. And don't forget to show your support with a like and subscribe, fueling my motivation to bring you even more captivating comic chapters in the future. Until next time, happy reading!